Now you can able to view my screen.
Yes.
In the last session, what are the things we have discussed? We have seen what is an index, and
Yes.
also we have seen how to create an index and how
Yes.
to
Index.
drop an index. Yes,
Yeah.
how to
And
drop
to identify index.
and I didn't get you, Prashanti.
How to identify an index
Yeah,
with free help.
yes, how to identify an index present. And also we have seen what are the advantages of creating an indexes. In today's session, we are going to discuss what are the different types of indexes available. Okay, these are generally two types: clustered index and non-clustered indexes. And also we will see how to create them, and also we will see differences between clustered and non-clustered, and we will see like what are the advantages of indexes once again. And once this is done, like we will be working on views as well. What is meant by view? At least a basic definition of it and how to create it. This is the agenda of today's session. Okay. As I said you earlier, like indexes, why it has been used, like why it is using in your queries in order to identify your data in a quick manner, right?
Yes.
Okay. And generally, your indexes are of two types: clustered index as well as non-clustered index. Clustered index and non-clustered index. Okay. What is meant by clustered index? You are having any idea?
No.
Generally, clustered index is mainly useful in order to determine your physical order of your data. It will determine your physical order of your data. What is meant by physical order? Suppose assume like you are having one table. Okay, say like table one. You are having one table. In this particular table, say like you are having only three columns: serial number, serial name, and address. Okay, and when you specify primary key on top of this particular table, then whenever you insert the records, it should not be any duplicate, right? It should be 1 2 3. When you are going to insert with 1, like you will be getting duplicate data, right? And also we have seen while creating your primary key. Is that right, Prashanti? Ago?
Yes.
Okay. Now, and also it is not necessary to insert all your records in the same manner. If you insert your record 1 2 3, and when you try to retrieve, then you will be getting records 1 2 as well as 3. Okay, but it is not mandatory to insert your records in the same manner. Okay, either you can able to insert third record, second record, and first record. And also when you try to write like select star from table name, you will be getting in a proper order: 1 2 3. Have you seen that? Okay, I will show you an example for this one. And even though you are not inserting your data in a proper manner, but when you are trying to retrieve the data from your table, you will be retrieving in a proper order. Why it is writing in a proper order? In the sense, how you will be getting your data in a proper order? Because of your clustered index. Okay, when you create your primary key, automatically clustered index will be created on top of your column, on top of your primary key. So when you define your primary key on top of one particular table, automatically clustered index will be created on top of your serial number. And this will determine you the physical order of your data in your table. It means like even though you insert your records in a zigzag manner, but when you try to retrieve the record from that particular table, you will be getting in a proper order. It is nothing but your clustered index. Clustered index, basically it will determine the physical order of your data in your tables. Okay. Right now we will try to verify, right now we will try to create a table, okay, with some details like ID, name as well as gender and city on simple table, and also we will be creating a primary key on top of that particular table. Okay, and we will try to insert some of the records into the table, and we will see like whether you are going to get in a proper order or not, right? Okay. Now assume like I want to create one sample table. Okay. In this particular table, I want to get columns like ID, name, salary column, and we will keep some gender column and the city column. These are the 5 columns that I want to place in my table called table employee. Okay, assume like this one is nothing but your table employee. I just want to create. So can you tell me how to create this particular table? Create. Please be little interactive.
Uh, Sorry, no, in okay.
Okay, can you
Create
please
table,
tell me
table
how
employee.
to create your table with these columns?
Create table.
Yeah. Then I cannot able to hear your voice. Can you tell me how to create your tables? Create a table. Table name.
Table.
Yeah. What is our table name? Table employee. Okay.
Employee.
I will be specifying like TBL employee. But here I just want to create my clustered index, right? So I will be giving a CLINDX underscore my table name. This is my table name. Okay. Then what you will be specifying? Create table name. Then you will be specifying what are the columns you want. ID I want to declare as integer and I want to declare as a primary key, right? Then name varchar of 15, and what are the other columns? Gender, salary, gender and city. So I'll be creating like salary in integer, then gender varchar of 10, then finally I'll create my city.
Krishna Raghavan texted that he is not. There is no voice. It seems he cannot hear you.
Right? From your end you can able to hear my voice, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
sp underscore help index.
So
Here
is it
I didn't get you.
so Krishna, is it mandatory that we need to keep cluster index before the table
It's not
name
mandatory, but it is a kind of naming
or
convention
just for
that
our
you will.
yeah.
Yes, yes, it is a kind of naming convention that you will be following. So if you are going to see this particular table after some period of time, you may be getting like I have created cluster index on top of this particular table, like that you can able to understand.
Okay.
So I'll try to execute this particular query sp underscore help index and see you can able to see your clustered index has been created. This is the default clustered index name that has been created. And also when you define your primary key, automatically clustered index it will be created. And what kind of clustered index it is? Unique clustered index. Unique clustered index in the sense you cannot able to insert any duplicate records in this particular table. Okay, so when you define your primary key automatically, you can able to create your clustered index. And also we will see whether you can able to determine the physical order of your data in your table or not. And also we will try to insert some of the records into the table in a zigzag manner. And when you try to retrieve the records from that particular table, we will see whether the records it will be sorted automatically or not internally. Okay, how to insert records into this particular table?
Sim-
Insert into my table name, right? CL underscore index underscore table employee. Then you will be specifying values. You will be specifying three. Say like I just want to add Ashanti. Then salary as 50,000, and then gender I want to add like female, and say like New Jersey. This is how I can able to insert a record into the table. We will try to execute. Incorrect syntax here. Try to execute. Now record has been inserted. In the similar way, we will try to insert some of the records in a zigzag manner. 3 we have been inserted. We will insert with 2. Or else we will insert with 1. Then here, Raghav record. We will try to insert with Hyderabad. Execute this. Try to insert another record. We will try to execute this. Okay, now 3 records has been inserted. Okay. Now we will try to retrieve the records from this particular table. Select star from which table?
Cluster.
Try to execute it. Even though you insert some of the records here, you are retrieving based on your ID. Why you are getting? Because ID is nothing but your clustered index, and all your data it will be automatically sorted in your clustered index. That's the reason why you can able to see here a table. Even though you are retrieving the records from the table, you will be getting in a proper format. Assume like you will create another table, but don't create any primary key on this particular table. Just create an ID and see here. Try to create a table with employee one, and in the similar way, we'll try to read. Okay, employee one, employee one, employee one. Might be employee one is available. We will try to execute and see whether this particular table is available or not. But here I am not defining any primary key. Okay, command completed successfully. And also if you try to see any indexes that are available in this particular table, when you execute this, okay, this is employee one, right? Okay, then try to execute this and see you are not having any indexes. That's the reason why you can able to see the object clustered index underscore table employee one doesn't have any indexes, and you don't have a permission. Like that you will be getting a message, and we will try to insert all these records in a table. So records has been inserted. Now when you try to retrieve the records from this particular table and see the records in which manner you are getting 312, right? So this is nothing but the order that you have been inserted. Since you are not having any clustered index available on top of your table, you will be getting the records in the order how you have been inserted. But when you create a clustered index, you will be getting in a proper order. It is the difference between clustered index. and normal table. Have you identified the difference?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes, Raghav?
okay. Actually, I just wanted to ask you. You see, we have inserted data, right? And we are whatever the sequence that we have given the titles. Okay. Accordingly, we have inserted data, right? What
Yes.
if in case we have given values like three, like the primary key and name, salary, gender, and the address. In case if we give something else apart from this, will it give error or will it insert that data as well?
I'm not getting your question properly.
No, no, we have inserted values, right?
Yes.
How see now here we have given syntax like insert into cluster index table employee one values three Shanti 1 5000 female New Jersey. In case uh, let's say if we are mentioning yes, okay, so that will be an extra, right? Which is the title is not available um, in our table whichever we created. So how it will be executed? Will it give an error or will it enter the data without any title table header?
Actually, your voice is not clear, Raghav. I cannot able to
Sure,
get. Okay, at the end of the session, you may be asking, like you
sure,
asked
I'll
me.
connect. Sure, sure, sure. I'll connect you. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, your voice is breaking.
No problem. No problem.
Okay.
I'll talk to you.
Okay. And also, you may be identifying like you can able to define your clustered index automatically when your primary key has been created. Okay. But how to create clustered index manually? I mean to say, yesterday we have seen how to create an index, create index and index name, right? In the similar way,
Yes.
we will create clustered index through the commands as well. How to create that? Create clustered index and your index name you can able to specify. Then on which table you want to specify, you need to specify on keyword and then table name. Then on which column you want to specify, that column names you want to specify, and along with either you want to specify in ascending order or descending order, you can able to specify on top of your table. Okay. And also, is it mandatory to have only one clustered index on top of your table?
No,
We can
no.
have multiple languages. Anyway, we can identify if we have index also.
Okay. So when you defined your primary key, you have defined on top of only one column, right?
Yeah.
And also during my initial session, I told you how to create your primary key on two columns as well. Have you remembered that? You can able to create your primary key on two columns as well. But that two particular columns, it will act as a single primary key. But those two particular columns, you can able to specify at a single time only. You can able to define your primary key on top of one column or a group of columns. I said you right on that particular day we have seen an example of primary key to define on top of two columns. So it means like as a combination you can able to define one primary key.
Yeah.
In the similar way you can able to create your clustered index on a single column or a group of columns you can able to create. And group of columns also you can able to create. So it is not mandatory to have only one clustered index. But in fact, you will be creating clustered index only once. But when you are creating your clustered index only once, you can able to specify on top of a single column or more than one column at the same time. So as a combination, you can able to specify that one as a clustered index. Now we will see how to create a clustered index on top of column. Say like I am having one table. Let's start from ix underscore tbl employee. Okay, I'm having this particular table. If you see this particular table, we will see what are the available indexes that are available. sp underscore help index, index underscore my employee. Already some indexes are available here. We'll try to see another table. Okay. Right now we have created one table, right? This one, clustered index.
Hmm.
Okay. And see, we have created one record, clustered index,
Yes.
table employee. And when you try to execute this particular clustered index, you can able to see one default clustered index that has been created. Okay. Now we will try to delete this particular index on top of this table. Okay, but you cannot able to delete that one. Why? Because already your primary key that has been available here. So we will try to take an example of table employee one. Okay, in this particular table you don't have any clustered indexes, correct?
Yes.
Of table one execute, see, you do not have any clustered indexes. Now we will try to create a clustered index on top of this particular table employee one. So how to create a clustered index? Create clustered
Master.
index. I want to create my index name. So what I want to do, I want to create my clustered index on top of two columns, say like gender column and salary column. I want to create as a clustered index, as a group I want to create it. Okay, so I'll be specifying my index name. How I'll be specifying? ix underscore table employee one followed by my gender as well as my salary. This is my clustered index name. I just want to create on my table employee one on top of my gender column and salary column. It is not mandatory to have the same name, but whatever you want, you can able to give your clustered index name. Then you need to specify on. Then you will be specifying your table name. What is your table name? CL index underscore TBL employee one, right? Then what you need to do? You need to specify your column names. What are your columns here?
Mhm.
Gender column, I want to specify in descending order, and salary column, I want to specify in ascending order. This is how you can able to create your clustered index as well. Now, shall we execute it and see whether clustered index it will be created on top of our gender as well
Yes.
as salary columns?
Yes.
Got executed successfully. And if you see here, sp underscore help index. Okay, this is wrong table name. CL index underscore TBL employee one. See, IX underscore table employee one underscore gender underscore salary is nothing but a clustered index, and you have been created your indexes on top of your columns called salary as well as your gender column. This is how you can able to create your clustered indexes. Any queries on this?
No.
Okay. No. And I will tell you an example of clustered index as well. I mean to say in real time. Have you seen your telephone directory?
Yeah.
In telephone directory, how the records it will be arranged, all the data it will be arranged.
Alphabetical order.
Yes, it means like based on your first name and the last name. Am I right?
Yes.
This is nothing but your clustered index. All the data it will be automatically sorted in that in the telephone directory. I'm getting a call. 1 second, please. Okay, if you see your telephone directory, all your records it will be automatically sorted based on your first name as well as last name. Okay, this is an example of your clustered index. Okay, now we are going to work with non-clustered index. And example for your non-clustered index in the sense, it is nothing but your textbook. Where in your textbook, your index will be stored in one particular area. Right, in separate pages you can able to see your indexes. And your actual data, it will be stored in different pages. Similarly, in your table, all your data it will be stored in a one particular table, and if you want to create any indexes, index will be created on a separate area, and when you want to retrieve a record from this particular table, directly it will be going to that particular index and it will be picking that particular address. Based on that particular address, you will be going to your table and you will be picking that particular record. Whereas in your clustered index, there is no way in order to store your index separately. Automatically, when you insert your records, it will be automatically stored.
Yes.
Only that is the difference between your clustered index and non-clustered index. And for non-clustered index, you can able to take your textbook as your example. And we will see how to create your non-clustered index as well.
Krishna, can you please explain non-cluster one more time? My internet didn't work.
Okay. Non-clustered index. And for example, if you take your textbook, in your textbook, your index will be placed in separate pages, right?
Yes.
And also your actual chapter names it will be placed in different area. So if you want to go to a particular chapter name, initially what you will do, you will go to your index. Based on that particular index, you will be identifying the page number and you will be going to that particular page. So your index it is stored in separate area and actual data it will be stored in another separate area. So in the similar way, in your table all your data it will be present, and for all the data that is present in your table, an index will be separately created. That kind of index is nothing but your non-clustered index. So when you want to retrieve any data from your table, you will be going to that particular index. Based on that particular address, you will be going to the table and you will be retrieving all the records from your table. So this kind of concept is nothing but your non-clustered index. In case of your clustered index, there is no facility of storing your index in a separate area. Directly when you insert some records, it will be automatically stored.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the basic difference between your clustered index as well as your non-clustered index.
And
So how to create your non-clustered indexes? In a similar way, like create. Earlier we have seen for clustered index, we have seen one keyword called clustered. Create clustered index. For non-clustered,
yes.
non-clustered. That's it. Index. Then you will be specifying your index name. Then you will be specifying on keyword. Then table name. Then finally the columns either in ascending order or descending order you can able to specify. This is how you can able to create your non-clustered index as well.
A small confusion, Krishna, whenever you are doing the syntaxes. Um, Initially, we are writing like index, and when it is coming the index name, we are writing like index. Index, like giving syntax, and the name when it is coming index.
Actually,
Here, I,
okay, Raghu.
did you understand what I mean to say? Because see here. create clustered index, and here we wrote ix. So that is what the confusion I am getting, because sometimes we are writing in short from INDX and sometimes we are writing INDEX. So I mean,
Actually, if you see in blue color, this is your syntax. Clustered,
yeah,
create clustered index and then followed by
hmm,
your index name. So all my
yes,
indexes I'll be creating with ix suffix only.
okay, okay,
Ix suffix followed by your table name followed by your column names.
yes, yes,
This is how I'll be following my indexes name. Okay. Now
okay,
we have been created our clustered index on top of my table employee. On this particular
okay,
employee table only, I'll be creating my non-clustered index on column called name column. Okay. So how to create your
yeah.
non-clustered index? Create
Yes, non-cluster index,
non-clustered
non-cluster
index. I'll be writing my index name as.
IX underscore table name, table employee.
I think Prashant is not able to hear my voice. Hello, Prashanti.
Yeah,
Hello, Prashanti.
I think she is rejoining, showing she has left.
In this particular table, if you have inserted some records or updated some records or deleted some records, automatically what it should happen, your index also should be changed according to that. Am I right?
Yes.
So automatically your index should also get changed. So if you manipulate your data or if you modify your data in your table, then index also needs to be updated in the same time. And also when you try to update, insert or delete number of records in your table, then it will hurt the performance of your indexes. It will hurt the performance of indexes. So that is the reason why we will not able to insert or update delete records frequently. You should not do that because it will hurt the performance of your index. So these are the advantages as part of your indexes. And also, for example, see, you are having a table, and in this particular table, you are having some columns like yes number, yes name, and your gender column. Assume like all these particular columns are part of your index. Say like your serial number is part of your clustered index, and yes name and gender are part of your non-clustered index. And also we have seen an example for that as well. See, am I right?
Yes,
We have created gender as well as salary column as one clustered index and your name as your non-clustered index. In the similar way, assume like your city as well as ID are also a part of your any clustered or non-clustered index. So when you retrieve the records from that particular table, you don't have to go to that particular address. I mean to say you don't have to go to your table directly, but instead you can able to directly go to your indexes. From there you can able to retrieve your records. These kind of queries are nothing but your covering queries. So whenever all the columns that are part of your table are present as part of your index and you are trying to retrieve those particular columns using your query, those kind of queries will be calling as covering queries. So these are the advantages that are available as part of your indexes. Any queries on this one? But you need to remember some concepts like what is meant by covering query and why your indexes performance will get hurt if you going to insert or update records in your table when indexes has been defined on top of the table. And also we have seen what are the differences between clustered and non-clustered indexes.
Yes.
Can you once repeat what is covering queries?
Okay, suppose assume like you are having a table. In this particular table you are having three columns, and assume like your S number is as part of your clustered query. I mean to say clustered index, and yes name as well as gender are covered as part of your non-clustered index. But whenever you are trying to write a query on top of these particular columns, and these columns are already part of your indexes, and you will be calling those queries as your covering queries. Since the columns that you are trying to refer in that particular query are as part of your indexes completely. And also,
Yes,
since
yes.
the columns are present in your indexes, you need not to go to your particular table immediately. All the data that is available in your indexes as well. So
Okay.
these kind of queries will be calling as your covering queries. Okay,
Yes,
these are the things
Krishna.
that you need to remember. And we will try to see what is meant by a view. View is also similar to that of your CTE. Have you remembered your CTE?
Yes.
What is the full form of CTE?
Common table.
Yes, common table expression. It is nothing but your temporary table, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But view is also nothing but your temporary table. But in common table expression, when you create your common table expression, immediately you need to use that particular table after your query. Am I right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
in view, it is not like that. You can able to create the temporary table in a permanent location, and whenever you want, you can able to use that particular table.
Okay.
Okay, this is the basic difference between your view as well as your CTA. And also in the next session, we will try to create a view on top of some particular tables. And also we will see what are the advantages of views that are available. And also we will try to insert some records into your view, and we will see whether it is going to update in the base table or not. So assume like I am having one table. This is nothing but my main table. So in this particular table, I want to create some temporary table. This is nothing but my view. Okay, so this is nothing but my main table, and this is nothing but your temporary table. And in this temporary table, when you insert some data, insert or update or delete near view, we will see whether that particular records is going to affect its base table or not in the next session. And also we will try to see practically these things as well. Okay, Raghav?
Okay.
Okay, Krishna.
Okay, fine then. Same time we will join tomorrow. Raghav, can you please join at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, yeah. Sure, Krishna.
Since it will be late for her.
Yeah. Sure. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.